Sitting here as they are just closing out the second inning in San Diego. The Giants have rallied twice, but they have failed to score. So they'll be going to the bottom of the second inning, no score. And we're just about ready to get started. Roger Metzger, the switch-hitting shortstop, batting right-handed against Al Downing. He'll be followed by Joe Morgan and Cesar Cedeno. Downing looks into Duke Sims, and the first pitch of the night is a fastball high. Ball 1-0. Downing with 18 scoreless innings, won 6 in a row, 9 of his last 11. He has really been remarkable. A 1-0 pitch is lifted foul and out of play off first base, and the count 1-1. In fact, when you think about it, as surprising as this National League Western race has turned out, what is more surprising is to think that on the 29th of September, Al Downing would be pitching at Dodger Stadium trying to win his 21st. Al almost beat together on the rubber. Left-hand is 1-1. Pitch is a little high and away. Ball 2. 2-1. The count to Roger Metzger. Metzger, not a power hitter. He's hitting .234. Downing's 2-1. Fastball is over. Strike 2. 2-2. The calling of balls and strikes tonight by umpire Tom Gorman, who was a left-hand pitcher in his day, and Tommy behind the plate. The 2-2 pitch to Metzger, fastball fouled away, and it's still 2-2. Metzger making Downing work. Now Al checks. Sims wigwags a couple of signs out. Downing to the windup, and the 2-2 pitch on the way. Palm ball got him swinging. So Al Downing throws the palm ball to strike out Metzger, and the batter will be Joe Morgan.
Joe Morgan.
It is only fitting and proper that Tommy Gorman should be affiliated with a game involving either the Dodgers or the Giants. San Diego has just scored a run. We'll give you the details in a minute. As Downing looks in to work to Joe Morgan, Al delivers and gets the strike. The crowd reacting now. They posted the Padres' lead in the second inning. Morgan takes a curveball low, 1 ball, 1 strike. The Padres had runners at first and third. Barton, the ex-Giant, hit a bouncer back to the box. Cumberland knocked it down but couldn't make a play, and the run came over from third. He did make a play at first base to get Barton, but the run came over. So the Padres are leading 1-0 in the second inning. It's 2-1. The count to Joe Morgan. We were saying before how ironic it is that Tommy Gorman is behind the plate for several reasons. Here's Downing's 2-1 pitch, fastball low, ball 3. We told you that Tom Gorman was a left-hand pitcher. Tom Gorman not only was a left-hand pitcher, he came up briefly to the big leagues with the Giants. And he came up to the big leagues as an umpire in September of 1951, one of the great pennant races of all times. And now Morgan takes ball 4. So Tommy Gorman just figures to be involved in a Giant Dodger pennant race, and it's an added bit of irony that he would be behind the plate tonight. Well, there are 3 outs in San Diego, and the Padres are leading the Giants 1-0. We have 1 out here in the first inning, and Cesar Cedeno, the batter. Here is something to keep in mind, and we're not trying to cloud the issue, but it is a point. Clay Kirby is pitching for San Diego. Kirby, Friday night, pitched 15 innings. Scouts who saw him pitch told me tonight he made 234 pitches Friday night. And boy, if he can come back strong after that outing, it will be another surprising part of this story. But at the end of 2 innings, he's leading 1-0. But it doesn't figure to be the same Kirby who has been working all year for the Padres. He should get very tired. Cedeno, right-hand hitting center fielder at the plate. There goes Morgan. The pitch is low. The throw, not in time. Little Joe, a good stealer, and Morgan underneath for his 38th stolen base. So Morgan in the 4th inning of last night's game walked, and a hit-and-run play by Cedeno got him to third. Now he steals second. So Cedeno trying to pick him up. 1-0 the count. Downing at the belt. Al comes back 1-0. Breaking ball. Swung on and missed. Strike 2. Hard swing by Cedeno. Cedeno, right-hand hitter, closed stance. Left foot very close to the plate. Right foot deep and on the line. Now the 1-1 pitch to Cesar is swung on and missed. So the count 1-2. Another breaking ball. Here in the first inning, Roger Metzger struck out on a palm ball. Morgan walked, just stole his 38th. And Cedeno is up there with the count 1-2. Bob Watson is on deck. Downing ready, and the 1-2 pitch coming up is low, ball 2. 2-2 to Cesar Cedeno. The umpires for this series, and of course they're so important. Tom Gorman behind the plate in his 21st year in the big leagues. Stan Landis at first, 17 years. Andy Olson is the youngster of the group, his 4th year. Doug Harvey on the line at third, has put in 10. Here's a 2-2 pitch to Gorman. Breaking ball, stayed up, ball 3. Full count to Cesar Cedeno, and now Duke Sims goes out to the mound to talk to Downing. So those are the umpires, and whenever you get into a big series, you always like to know a little bit about them. So the Messrs. Gorman and Landis, Olson and Harvey. Full count to Cesar Cedeno. 1 away. First inning, Downing at the belt. Checking, whirls, throws high to Valentine, and back to the bag easily is Morgan. They're in the third inning at San Diego, and the Padres are leading 1-0. That's Clay Kirby and John Cumberland. And Fuentes opened up with a base hit down there. Here's a 3-2 pitch to Cedeno. Palm ball, got him swinging, and he went after a bad ball. So Cedeno chasing a palm ball up around the eyes. Strikes out. 2 down, and here is the bull, Bob Watson. Bob Watson, right-hand hitting first baseman and left fielder, a Los Angeles boy. Downing with 2 down in the first inning, and Watson waiting at the plate. Morgan at second base on a walk and a stolen base. Downing ready, fastball, high and away, ball 1. He has to showcase that pitch to get them after the palm ball. He struck out 2. Al Downing trying to make it 7 straight, trying to roll a natural tonight and win his 21st. Here's the 1-0 pitch on the way to Watson. Ground ball up the middle. Base hit. Here comes Morgan. He'll score. Davis makes the throw to the plate. Cut off by Buckner, but there's nobody at first base to make a play there. So Bob Watson singles home Joe Morgan. And the Astros have a run, 1-0. So the Giants and Dodgers continue to play peekaboo with each other. The Padres are leading the Giants. The Astros are leading the Dodgers. At San Diego, Fuentes singled. Willie Mays has just doubled Fuentes to third base. So the Giants are making noise. Remember now, the Giants are hitting against a man who made 234 pitches Friday night. Incredible. Here is Jimmy Wynn. He takes outside, ball 1. When you make 234 pitches any time in the year, you have expended a tremendous amount of energy. But when you do it in the end of September, you're almost carried out on your shield. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Jimmy Wynn. Palm ball for a strike, and the count 1-1. So the walk to Morgan set up the Astro run last night. The walk to Morgan has set up their run tonight. Jimmy Wynn waiting at the plate. Downing a look over at first. Now Al to the plate. Palm ball way outside and high. Sims had to come leaping out of his crouch to corral it, and the count 2-1. With runners at second and third, Willie McCovey struck out in San Diego. That inning is still alive. There's one out. Runners at second and third, and Bobby Bonds will be the batter. 2-1 pitch to Wynn. A bouncer up the middle, and that's going to go to center field. Watson is going to go to third. Willie's throw to third, cut off by Wills, but he has no further play. So Downing has given up a walk and 2 singles in the first inning. And he's wobbly, and the Dodger bullpen will get ready, because no matter how many games anybody has won up to here, tonight's the night. And the Dodger bullpen gets busy in a hurry as Jesus Alou comes up. Doyle Alexander, who is the long man every day, is first man up in the Dodger bullpen tonight. He was up back of Singer last night. He was up back of Sutton in Atlanta. They are walking Bobby Bonds intentionally in San Diego, so they'll have the bases loaded with 1 out. 1-0 Padres, third inning. The pitch to Alou, a strike. As soon as they walk Bobby Bonds to fill the bases, Dick Dietz will be the batter. The Mule, as they call him. He's from South Carolina, and of course he was Bean, but recently hit a grand slammer against Cincinnati. Here's a strike 1 pitch. Ground ball sharply inside third and down the line. In comes Watson, going to third base, and holding there on the double is Wynn. And as he rounds third, they get the ball to Allen, but he just does get back to the bag. And here comes Red Adams, and we will see now as it is a stormy beginning for Al Downing. He has given up a walk, 2 singles, and a double, and the Astros have 2. In a moment, Denis Menke will be coming up. Red Adams talking to Downing. This is only a guess, because it is one thing that Downing does a great deal, one thing that Adams has talked about. Al sometimes gets in too much of a hurry to make a pitch, so that he is striding towards the plate while his arms are still high up over his head, and it takes a lot off his pitches. So it could be that Adams goes out and said, wait for your arms and hands to catch up to your body. That, of course, is only a guess from here, but it's one thing that Red has pointed out to Al throughout the years. Second and third, 2 out, 2-0 Astros, and the batter is Denis Menke. Downing at the belt, left-hander out of a stretch in the fastball away, ball 1. Well, one thing, and you know as well as I do, if they are going to do it at all, they're going to do it the hard way. They wouldn't have Dodgers on their chest otherwise. Dick Dietz has just struck out. The pitch is low, ball 2. So the bases remain loaded in San Diego. There are 2 outs since Dietz and McCovey have struck out, and Alan Gallagher is the batter. And Clay Kirby trying to keep the Giants away. 2-0 pitch to Menke. Over with the palm ball. 2-1. 2 down. Jimmy Wynn down the line from third. Jesus Alou at second. 2-0 Astros. Downing trying to get out of the first inning. Al straightens up. But look at the runners. The 2-1 pitch. Palm ball high. Ball 3. On deck is catcher Larry Howard. 3-1, the count to Denis Menke. Veteran right-hand batter, chokes up on the bat a bit. Downing at the belt, and the 3-1 pitch to Denny is low to load him up. And so Larry Howard will be coming up with the bases loaded and 2 out in the first inning. Howard is the guy who beat the Giants in Houston last week when he hit a 2-run home run over the center field fence. Howard, hitting only .220, has only 2 home runs, but one of the 2 beat the Giants and gave the Dodgers a game in the standings. Now he comes up trying to torment the Dodgers with the bases loaded and 2 out. 2-0 Houston in the first inning. Downing had not allowed more than 2 earned runs in any game against the Astros this year, and he's 1-2 to them going in. Howard, right-hand batter waiting. Downing delivers. Fastball. Got the outside corner for a strike. 0-1. So the San Francisco boy, Alan Gallagher, is at the plate with the bases loaded in San Diego. Larry Howard is at the plate with the bases loaded in Los Angeles. And there's a line drive base hit into right center. In comes one. Here comes Alou. It is 4-0 Houston in the first inning. and still 2 out. And the batter, who has not thrown a pitch yet, is pitcher Ken Forsch.
Batting in, number 43, pitcher Ken Forsch.
So the Astros have 4 big runs in the first inning, still 2 out. And if the Giants needed a lift, why, when they post that 4, they'll be sky high in San Diego, despite the fact they're trailing 1-0. Ken Forsch, right-hand batter. Forsch is 7-8 with the league. Downing still out of his stretch. Al delivers, and it's swung on and missed, 0-1. Outside of the double by Alou, which was hit inside third and down the line, the 3 other base hits have been to center. They have gone 3-2 to Alan Gallagher with the bases loaded and 2 out in the third. Forsch swings and misses. So we'll tell you what Clay Kirby and Gallagher do in a vital spot in San Diego. Meanwhile, the Astros have flattened the Dodgers in the first inning with 4. 0-2 the count to Ken Forsch. Larry Howard at first. Denis Menke at second. The breaking ball is swung on and missed, strike 3. Let's see if we have any further report out of San Diego. Not yet. 4 big runs on 4 hits. 2 men left, and the Dodgers must be shocked to their toes as they go to the dugout. Gallagher has just made out, so Kirby has escaped the Giants in the third. Meanwhile, at the end of half an inning, Astros 4, Dodgers coming up.
Schlitz, Milwaukee and the world. You only get one crack at life, and you gotta live it with all the gusto you can. And everything. Even the beer you drink. Schlitz. Why settle for less? When you're out of Schlitz, you're out of beer.
Bottom of the first inning with the Astros a big 4 on the board. Right-hander Ken Forsch loosening up. 7-8 with the league, but a marvelous ERA of 2.6. He has started 22 games, completed 6, and Forsch is 1-1 with the Dodgers. He'll be pitching to Maury Wills, Bill Buckner, and Willie Davis.
The Los Angeles Dodgers. Number 30, shortstop, batting 279.
Maury Wills gets a hero's welcome as he comes to the plate. He had the clutch base hit off Roger Metzger's glove to drive in the winning run last night. Maury hitting .298 left-handed, and big Forsch ready delivers. Fastball for a strike. He throws hard. Forsch this year shut out the Dodgers 2-0. And lost a bitter game 3-2. That was fight night. The pitch to Wills is low. 1 ball, 1 strike. One and one. The count to Maury Wills. Fastball hit foul down the left field line, out of play. Ken Forsch is 6'4", 195-pounder. He's from Sacramento. He still lives there. He attended Oregon State University. The next one, fastball outside. Ball 2, 2-2. In his career in the minors, he averaged just about a strikeout an inning. He's that kind of a pitcher. There's a bouncer over the mound, back of second base, into center field. Maury Wills leading the Dodgers, as always. Singles to center, and the batter is Bill Buckner.
276. Bill Buckner.
Bill Buckner checking in Wills at first. To give you an idea of what's going on in San Diego, the Giants are having their problems with Clay Kirby. Buckner takes high, ball 1. The Giants in 3 innings have left 7 men on base, and the Padres lead 1-0. Well, the Dodger fans, like the ball club, haven't given up by any means. Bill hitting .276. Throw to first. Wills back to the bag. 4 runs, 4 hits for the Astros, and the Dodgers trying to catch up. First inning. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Buckner, taken for a strike, and the count 1-1. Forsch has allowed 3 earned runs in 15 innings against the Dodgers. And in 15 innings, he has struck out 15 Dodgers. The 1-1 pitch coming up to Buckner is sliced to left field. Going back on the ball is Alou, and one-hands it. And going back to first is Maury Wills. That ball just started to take off as it was speared in left field by Alou. Willie Davis, the batter. We were telling you before that Clay Kirby, Friday night against Houston, worked 15 innings and made 234 pitches. Ken Forsch worked 13 innings against Kirby and allowed just 1 earned run. Big right-hander's pitch to Davis, breaking ball for a strike. Willie hitting .311, 10 home runs, 74 RBIs. Padres failed to score in the third, so they're in the top of the 4th inning. Padres 1, Giants nothing. Forsch at the belt, and the strike 1 pitch to Davis way outside, one-handed by Larry Howard. Let's set the Astros defensively. Forsch and Howard. The infield, Bob Watson at first, Joe Morgan at second, Roger Metzger at short, Denis Menke at third, Jesus Alou in left, Cesar Cedeno in center, Jim Wynn in right. Throw to first, high. Wills back on his hands and knees. 1 ball, 1 strike. The Astros have 4. A walk and with 2 outs, singles by Watson and Wynn, a double by Alou, a walk and a single by Howard for the 4. Davis fouls it back to the screen, and the count 1-2. Show you how Harry Walker is playing it, and of course it's the only way. Leading 4-0, and with a runner at first base against him, Harry has 2 men throwing in the Houston bullpen, and why not? 1-2 to Willie Davis. Forsch at the belt. Right-hander delivers, and as a bouncer wide of third, Menke goes to second base for a force on Wills. So with 2 out and Willie Davis aboard on a force, the batter is Richie Allen.
Batting point, number 50. Third base. Batting .298. Rich Allen.
Richie Allen hitting .298, 23 home runs, 90 runs batted in. Willie Davis at first has hit safely in 18 of the last 21. Allen has hit safely 9 of the last 10. He hits a high fly ball down the right field line. It's playable and catchable, and Jimmy Wynn is right there to do both. So the Dodgers in the first inning, no runs, 1 hit, a man left. And at the end of an inning, Astros 4, Dodgers nothing. Happiness to many a youngster is a day or night at the ballpark watching the Dodgers. Of course, part of the fun is munching away on those long, luscious 10-inch hot dogs sold at the stadium. Farmer John Dodger dogs, we call them, and you'll find them in most markets as extra long Farmer John wieners. So now your children can have a ball in your own backyard, barbecuing these fabulous fun-sized wieners. Except for their length, extra long Farmer John wieners are the very same as regular Farmer John wieners. Same finest, precious meat, and all meat. Same wildly wonderful Western flavor from smoking over real smoke from native Western wood. And with the same winning ways, because both kinds of Farmer John wieners won gold medals at the California State Fair. You'll find regular Farmer John wieners in the delicatessen section of your market, and be sure to look for extra long Farmer John wieners, too, in the deli or in the meat department. Who but Farmer John would think to give you such a delicious choice? Second inning, the Astros 4, Dodgers nothing. Al Downing trying to recover now. In the background, applause. On the message board, it says, with us tonight, a man who played in the first World Series, 1903. He caught for Pittsburgh against the Boston Red Sox, lives in South Pasadena, 90 years old, Fred Karrasch. Roger Metzger will start it off. He'll be followed by Joe Morgan and then Cesar Cedeno. It certainly went unnoticed. It didn't really mean much. But Al Downing started off the game by striking out the side. He also gave up 4 runs and 4 hits. Metzger 0 for 1. Allen plays a step up inside the bag at third, and Downing ready and delivers. Metzger grounds 1 foul outside of first. In San Diego, Clay Kirby got what he needed, an easy inning. He got 3 Giants on 4 pitches. So the Giants are gone in order. And at the end of 3.5 innings, it remains San Diego 1 and the Giants nothing. Downing strike 1 pitch on the way. Fastball, a big chopper, speared by Allen. Ritchie steps and throws out Metzger. Let's pause for station identification. This is the Los Angeles Dodgers Radio Network.
Hi, this is Dave Fisher reminding you you're listening to the Happy Days station, KTAR in Phoenix. We'll be on after the game with more from Bill Johnson's Big Apple.
One away, Joe Morgan, who scored the only Astro run last night, scored the first of 4 in the first inning tonight with a walk. Downing ready, Al delivers, and the pitch is low, ball 1. Al Downing has an earned run average of 2.5, so you can realize what a shock it is for him to give up 4 in the first inning. He's 20-8. Downing to the windup, and the 1-0 pitch on the way. Morgan runs to bunt, but takes low, ball 2. 2-0. Four nothing Houston. We're in the second inning, 1 away. Morgan the batter, Cedeno on deck. Downing delivers and gets a strike. 2-1. Richie Allen playing Morgan well in on the grass. Little Joe hitting .254. He has 13 home runs. Downing's 2-1 pitch to the second baseman. A strike at the knees. 2-2. Morgan, muttering and shaking his head, now gets back in. Downing checks with Sims, and the 2-2 pitch on the way. Ground ball, foul over the head of Hub Kettle and down the line, so it's still 2-2. Al Downing and Ken Forsch. In San Diego, Clay Kirby and John Cumberland. 1-0 Padres, bottom of the 4th. An ex-Giant, Bob Barton, drove in the only run of the game. Here's the 2-2 pitch to Morgan. Breaking ball, slapped to center. Base hit. So, boy, are they going up the middle. 5 hits, and 4 of the 5 have been to center field. The other was the full job inside third by Alou. Say, Miss Country Music USA will pour free coffee at Union 76's new Ontario 500 Auto Truck Stop across from the Ontario Speedway on I-10. Grand openings November 1st. In San Diego, Clarence Gaston has opened up the bottom of the 4th, and he doubled. So the Padres leading 1-0, have a runner at second. Morgan getting something from Jim Ewell. 1 out, second inning, 4-0 Astros. Little Joe stole his 38th base, and you can bet he'll try and go for broke in this one tonight, leading 4-0. Downing looks at Morgan. Now works Cedeno, a bouncer over the mound, over second, into center field. Morgan will stop at second base, and here comes Walter Olson. A half a dozen hits against Downing, and 5 of the 6 have been up the middle. So he has certainly pitched a strange game. He struck out the side in the first inning, but gave up the 4 runs. And now he has given up 2 base hits with 1 out in the second inning. Well, the Dodgers went with their best tonight. 20-game winner Al Downing, and he didn't have it. And Olson gazing out towards the bullpen where Doyle Alexander has been throwing, and he goes to Alexander. Well, there are Cinderella stories are few and far between in the big leagues. Certainly, Al Downing's Cinderella story held up. It held up until tonight, and the clock struck 12 at about 8:32 here in Los Angeles as Downing goes an inning and a third. And the dreams of 21 victories and leading the Dodgers on and closer to the pennant go down the drain, at least for the moment, and for sure for him. So Downing comes out, and Doyle Alexander will be coming in. So the Astros have 4, and with runners at first and second and 1 out, they will have Bob Watson and Jim Wynn. So they'll bring in the right-handers. We've got some time. Let's spend it with Jerry.
Hi, Vinny, and a reminder about tomorrow night. We have the big fan appreciation night. How would you like to win a trip for two to wonderful Copenhagen on an SAS Scandinavian Airlines? A trip for two to New York with a weekend of shows flying aboard a TWA 747. Or how about a round trip for two to San Juan, Puerto Rico aboard an American Airlines luxury liner? A round trip for a couple to Hawaii aboard a United Airlines 747 featuring Trader Vic meal service. These are four of the many prizes waiting our fans. Tomorrow night, Dodger Fan Appreciation Night, and appreciation for Al Downing as he goes off, and here's Finn.
Al Downing, back in June, went 2 2/3 innings against the Astros. He gave up 7 runs, but the Dodgers played poorly back of him. He only allowed 2 earned runs. It's hard to figure if he had been chased any earlier at all this year. Usually, the Downing trademark, even in the games he lost, he kept the Dodgers in the ballgame. So this is one of the few times he has been clobbered at all. So now Doyle Alexander, with runners at first and second and 1 out, will be pitching to Bob Watson, followed by Jimmy Wynn. 4 runs, half a dozen hits for the Astros. Whether by design or otherwise, the Astros had 5 of their 6 hits go to center field. Jesus Alou, the only one to pull, he hit the ball inside third and down the line. The Padres, despite the double by Clarence Gaston, failed to score in the 4th inning. So at the end of 4, it remains Padres 1, Giants nothing. Doyle Alexander, 6-6 with the league. In his 6th relief assignment, Alexander hasn't pitched much of late. The Dodgers have gotten very good pitching, and whenever a starter wobbled, it was always late in the game. In fact, you'd really have to go back on the 21st. Osteen, who was sick, went 4 2/3 innings. Otherwise, Dodgers starting pitching has really held up. And I guess for Downing, among other things, it just figured he'd finally be nailed. He had too many good numbers going for him tonight. Alexander's fastball to Watson is high, ball 1. Downing had 18 consecutive scoreless innings. He had won 6 straight, 9 of his last 11. He had allowed 4 earned runs in his last 41 innings, and he allowed that many in the 1st inning. So it was just a law of average night for Downing, and down he went. Watson takes a strike, and the count 1-1. Four to nothing, Houston. The Giants are coming to bat in the 5th inning. The Padres leading 1-0. Clay Kirby has had a rocky 3 of 4 innings worked so far. High chopper to the right of the plate and foul. They'll throw to first, but they'll have to do it all over again. So Watson will come back in the count 1-2. The Giants in San Diego had runners at first and second in the 1st inning and couldn't score. They had runners at first and second in the 2nd inning and couldn't score thanks to a fine play by Enzo Hernandez. The Giants had the bases loaded in the 3rd inning and couldn't score. And then Kirby got them out quickly in the 4th. So now San Francisco comes up in the 5th inning, and the Padres leading 1-0. Bob Watson singled to center in the 1st inning. His base hit cashed in Joe Morgan. Watson hitting .287, 64 runs batted in. On deck, Jimmy Wynn. Morgan at second, Cedeno at first, and a breaking ball is over. Strike 3 called to Bob Watson. Hard slider that moved on the outside corner. So 2 down, and Jimmy Wynn coming up.
Right fielder.
Jimmy Wynn singled in the 1st inning. He's 1 for 1. Two down, 2nd inning, 4-0 Houston. Wynn waiting, runners at first and second. Alexander's fastball whipped in there for a strike, 0-1. The Dodgers will have Crawford, Mota, and Sims in the bottom of the 2nd inning. Alexander hands at his side, reading Duke Sims. Doyle shaking his head at Duke, making Jim Wynn wait. Now he's ready. Strike 1 pitch. Down and away. Good save by Sims. He skidded on his right knee. 1-1. Tito Fuentes opened up the fifth inning in San Diego and grounded out, so there's one away. 1-0 San Diego in the fifth. 1 ball and 1 strike to Jimmy Wynn. Alexander's fastball low and inside. Ball 2, 2-1. Anything happens in San Diego, you'll get it practically as soon as it happens. 2-1 to Jimmy Wynn. That would have Mays at the plate in San Diego, following Fuentes in the lineup. Alexander ready, and the 2-1 pitch. Outside, ball 3. Doyle tried to get that one the way he struck out Bob Watson, but this one moved too far off the plate. 3-1. Wynn hitting only .207. 7 home runs, 44 RBIs. Downing at the belt. And the 3-1 pitch with Buckner breaking to the bag is a ball hit to Allen. He steps on third, and that will retire the side. Buckner had broken to first base to handle a throw, and it's a good thing for Alexander that ball didn't go to the right side of the infield, and Buckner talking to Doyle now about making that pitch at that moment. No runs, 2 hits, 2 left. The end of an inning and a half. Astros 4, Dodgers nothing.
It's the grand opening of them all. Continental Country Club of the State.
Second inning, the Astros leading 2-0. Now, the Padres put on the shift against McCovey. Takes the change for a ball. 3 infielders to right of second and at the third base. In a direct line between first and second. The outfield is not shift that much against McCovey. Although Ollie Brown is over very close to the right field line. 106. Fouled away. It's 1-1. Ball on a strike. Kirby getting McCovey just mad almost. Walked him intentionally in the first. And pitched the Bonds and walked McCovey intentionally. Or he struck out McCovey in the first and walked Bonds intentionally. 1-1 pitch. Swung on and foul tip. Strike 2. Kirby is challenging McCovey and getting away with it here. He is in front of ball and 2 strikes. Inning number 5, 1-0. The Padres in front. It's number 4 low. Grant has 3 walks. Go with the 4 hits. 1-2 pitch. High for a ball of 2-2. Bobby Bonds in the on-deck circle. As McCovey can get on with 2 down. Top of the fifth. Bonds will be the next hitter. Kirby's 2-2 pitch. Line drive, base hit on the right field line. McCovey singles this time, but would have scored 2 runs the last time. So the Giants are hitting out of turn. A single for McCovey and Bobby Bonds, the batter, with 2 men down. Bonds has flied out, and the Giants have had at least 1 base runner in every inning but the 4th. Bonds. McCovey is first. Outfield around to the left. He takes his best for the pitch to batter. Swung on and missed. Full family on the breaking pitch. Ball swinging one place, and then curveball going another. It's a strike 1 count. 2 down. McCovey a base runner. Kirby seems to reach back and get a little extra when somebody gets on base. He really got some extra in that 3rd inning. Runners for second and third and nobody out. Bonds taking time. As I mentioned last night, Bobby was a bad sign. A full time muscle and time he swings. As bothers him, he takes a little time to swing that again. Kirby's pitching on him. Outside for a ball. It's 1-1. Willie Crawford has flied out for the first out in the second inning for the Dodgers. Houston leading 4-0 there. San Diego's in front 1-0 in this one. Down of a ball and a strike to Bonds. 2 batters. Coming with his latest stroke. 1-1 pitch. High for ball 2. Mota has singled to the left for the Dodgers. Cut out. Big Sims is the batter. The guy who's been left out for the Dodgers. 2-1 count. comes the mound. McCovey at first. The threat.
2-1 pitch.
Swung on a miss. They pulled him on another breaking pitch. 2-2. Walked her way down the third base line. Steals and 2 strikes for Matthew. 2 down. A runner at first. Leans over the plate. That side really bothering him, and playing every day, it doesn't get a chance to heal. Pitcher capture. Kirby delivers 2-2. For a full count of 3-2. McCovey will be going. Full count, 3 balls and 2 strikes to Bob. McCovey at first with 2 down. The Giants out hitting the Padres 5-4. The difference in this one. 2 balls that were disrupted. A line drive by Springer that was knocked out by Hernandez turned into a 4-count that prevented the Giants from getting it down, and then Cumberland deflecting a double play ball that resulted in only 1 out. And the Padres scored. Swing and a miss. Bonds, no, he fouled it. Stays alive. Ball bounded away from Martin. McCovey was going. Bonds fouled that breaking pitch. Just got a piece of it. So he stays alive at 3-2. Bonds is in pain. He is in trouble at the side. Each time he swings. Same wing. 3-2 count to it. McCovey at first. 2 out. Kirby in the stretch. 3-2 pitch. Struck it out. Pitch up over his head. Brown chasing a bad pitch. No runs on 1 hit. No errors. And a runner left on. And at the end of 5, the score, or at the end of 4.5, the score, the Padres won and the Giants no.
Valentine, the batters.
Number 2.
Valentine hitting .253.
Valentine.
So Bobby Valentine with 2 out, Mota at first, 4-0 Astros in the second. Valentine at the pop fly into shallow right field. Morgan out, Wynn in. It is Wynn at the last minute. So a pop fly to the right field. There's no run to hit a man left, and at the end of 2, Astros 4, Dodgers nothing.
It's not only what he does, but how he does it. Now, that's another way of saying a certain athlete has a lot of spirit. And it's pretty much the same way you'd say a Union 76 dealer has spirit, too. Because no matter what a Union 76 man does for you, you'll probably find he does it with a friendliness and courtesy that makes his place a pleasure to drive into. Simple things like giving directions or putting a little air in that front tire are as important to him as they are to you. He knows that a lot of friendly help with the small problems brings you back when your car needs the other things that make it go. Doing business with a smile. That's a Union 76 man's way of doing things. If you'd like that kind of friendly service, drive in and sample our spirit. The spirit of 76 lives at Union Oil.
The end of 2 innings, the Astros 4 runs, 6 hits. The Dodgers no runs, 2 hits. In San Diego, they move to the bottom of the 5th inning. Clay Kirby is still dodging bullets down there, and the Padres are leading the Giants 1-0. Let's go to the 3rd, and for more play-by-play, here's Jerry Doggett.
All right, Vinny, Alou, Menke, and Howard will be up here now in the 3rd inning. Alou has doubled to drive in a run, and then he scored a run after Menke walked and Howard singled. The real crushing blow was the single by Howard that made it a 4-0 ball game. And really built up a big lead for the Astros. And now the Dodgers have a long hill to climb, and they have Doyle Alexander warming up. Here's some more of the gifts coming up for tomorrow night. A Toro Power lawnmower from Pennsylvania Lawn and Garden Shop. A Kawasaki mini bike from Kawasaki Motor Company. Dinner for 6 at Lowry's The Prime Rib. Dinner for 6 at the Hungry Tiger restaurant of your choice. See you out here tomorrow. Jesus Alou coming to bat, a double down the left field line in the 1st inning. Alou has always been a good hitter against the Dodgers. He's hitting .278 with 2 home runs and 39 runs batted in. So now Doyle Alexander setting on his own after holding back the Astros in the second inning. The 4 runs against Downing came in the first inning. Al was charged with 6 hits. Now the pitch on the way. Bounced over the middle behind second base. Valentine scoops up off balance throw in time. Nice play by Bobby. One away as Alou grounds out. That'll bring on Denis Menke, the third baseman. He walked his first time up. Denny hitting .248. And the Dodgers bat in the bottom of the third. They start with Alexander, then Wills and Buckner. And Alexander is a good hitting pitcher, so he might get a chance to stay in. All right, Menke steps in. 1 out in the third. There's a fastball for a strike to Menke, and it is 0-1. With 2 outs, San Diego has Jeter on with a double. With Alexander, then Wills and Buckner. And Alexander is a good hitting pitcher, so he might get a chance to stay in. All right, Menke steps in. 1 out in the third. There's a fastball for a strike to Menke, and it is 0-1. With 2 outs, San Diego has Jeter on with a double. They lead 1-0. Alexander's pitch to Menke is low, 1 ball and 1 strike. 1-1 the count. Menke hitting .248, playing at third base with Rader out for the rest of the year after an operation on his shoulder. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's the pitch. Fastball backhanded by Sims, and it's 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike. Two and 1. Menke waiting again. On deck is Larry Howard, the catcher. Now the 2-1 pitch. Just missed with the fastball. 3 balls and a strike to Menke, who walked his first time up. And now he has the count his way here in the third inning. The Giants are making a pitching change. Jerry Johnson is coming in to replace Cumberland with 2 out and a man on at second. There's a swing and a foul tip in the glove. 3-2 to Menke. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Dennis backs out for a moment. The Astros jumped off to 4 runs in the first inning. They sent 9 men to the plate and opened up a big lead in the first inning against the Dodgers. 3-2 pitch. Alexander ready. Here's his pitch. Line drive over Wills to left field. It's a base hit. So Menke gets a base hit. Hit number 7 for the Astros. That'll bring up the catcher, Larry Howard. So if you want to know the league standings, just check your newspaper. If you want to know how to dial long distance direct, just check the front pages of your telephone directory. Direct distance dialing is fast and easy. Larry Howard will be the batter as Menke drilled a single to left field. That's the first hit allowed by Alexander, and the 7th for Houston. Big crowd on hand, and tomorrow night, Fan Appreciation Night, will have a near-capacity crowd. Fastball low outside, backhanded, and it is 1 ball, no strike. Sims and Alexander are having a talk now. 1 ball and no strike. Sims might have been crossed up on that first pitch. All right, Duke comes back behind the plate. 1 ball and no strike to Larry Howard, the catcher, with Ken Forsch, the pitcher, due up next. Astros 4, Dodgers nothing. San Diego 1, Giants nothing. They're in the 5th inning. We're in the 3rd. Here's the pitch on the way to Howard. Breaking ball is a strike, and it's 1-1. The Dodgers set the infield double play depth. At home on the year, the Dodgers 41 wins, 38 losses. They are 88 and 72 on the year. Pitch high for ball, 2-1. The Dodgers need a sweep to keep their hopes alive, and of course they would still have to have help. 2-1. Alexander checking again. Now the stretch and the look and the pitch on the way. Foul back as he checked his swing, and the count is 2-2. The count. Howard backs out. All right, 2-2 to Howard, and again Alexander looks over. Menke a short lead. The pitch. Foul tipped at the plate. Count stays 2-2. Two and two. Howard backs out a moment. Salty Parker coaching at third. Hub Kittle at first. With one out, the Astros have a base runner, Menke, who singled. Howard, the catcher, waiting. 220 average. Curve, strike three call. Hit the outside corner with it, and it's 2 down now. Strikeout number 2 for Alexander. The batter will be the pitcher, Ken Forsch. Ken Forsch coming up with 2 outs. Menke waiting on first base. Houston leads 4-0. The Dodgers, of course, hoping to get some strong relief pitching now to keep them in check so they can make a run at them. Can't let the Astros get too much more of a lead. There's a liner to right field. Drops for a base hit. Crawford will throw to first base, and he does not get him. Pulls Buckner off the bag. He made a good try at it and almost had him. A line drive to right field, dropped for a base hit, but Crawford made it close by firing to Buckner, but he pulled him off the bag. So the pitcher Forsch singles, and down to second base goes Menke. That is the 8th hit for Houston. As the pitcher lines a single into right, and here's the leadoff batter, Roger Metzger, coming up. Jerry Johnson strikes out Nate Colbert on the side, retired for the Padres. The end of 5, 1-0 in favor of San Diego. Jerry Johnson now against Clay Kirby. Metzger, the leadoff man, has grounded out and struck out. The Astros have 2 on against Doyle on singles by Menke and the pitcher Forsch. Fastball is away. 1 ball and no strikes. 1-0 the count, 3rd inning. Now the 1-0 pitch. Tap towards second base. Valentine waits for the hop, feeds Will for the force out there, and the side retired. So they're down in the 3rd. No runs, 2 hits, and the Astros leave 2. They have left 6. And the score at the end of 2.5. Houston 4, the Dodgers nothing.
Schlitz, Milwaukee in the world.
Has made it. The Bills of Fort Ellis have dead 6-3. Joining the circle of 20-game winners this season was Steve Carlson of the Cardinals, Andy Messersmith of the Angels, and Joe Coleman of the Detroit Tigers, formerly of the Washington Senators. And the reason a lot of the fans in Washington were a little bit down on Robert Short.
Nick Deep will be the grand leadoff batter in the 6th. Padres lead 1-0. Kirby has 3 on the second.
Allowed 5 hits and walked 3 of this one over the first 5, but he has the same results as he did in Candlestick Park when he went through the first 7 innings in perfect fashion, returning the first 21 he faced.
Now the Dodgers come on in the bottom of the 3rd. They will start with the pitcher, Doyle Alexander, then Maury Wills and Bill Buckner against Ken Forsch, who's allowed 2 singles. Forsch flanked the Dodgers earlier in the year and lost a tough one to them. So he has been double tough against them in his outings against them. Ken is 1-1 on the season, 7-8 against the league, and a 2.66 earned run average. So the Dodgers have their hands full now tonight. Doyle Alexander, a good hitting pitcher, comes up. Doyle has 9 for 32. So that's better than a 250 average. He has 2 RBIs.
Alexander.
At the end of 5 in San Diego, the Padres leading 1-0. Clay Kirby now against Jerry Johnson. All right, here is Alexander at bat in the 3rd. Dodgers trying to get busy. Forsch delivers, and Doyle takes high, ball 1. Forsch has not walked the batter. He has struck out 1. He got Sims in the 2nd. 4-0 in favor of Houston. Now the pitch. Doyle fouls it away off first base side. Strike 1, 1-1 to Doyle. This is home game. This is game number 161, home game number 80. So we're right down to the final 2, and still not decided. Fastball high, ball 2, and it's a 2-1 count now. Forsch might get tired a little later if the Dodgers can stay close. Then he reported to you he was in 13 innings of that big ball game in San Diego the other night when Kirby went 15. 2-1 pitch, High again, ball 3, and it's 3-1 now to Doyle. So the Dodgers, who fell behind by 4, trying to chip away. Have a 3-1 count to the pitcher. Wind up and down it comes. Strike 2. Now it's a full count, and he's going to have to come in with another one. So Alexander ready to swing away on a 3-2 count. Here's the windup by Forsch. Pops up into right field. Jimmy Wynn in his track. Waiting, pops the glove. Now moves a step and handles it. So 1 away. High fly to right. Here's Wills. He singled his first time up. Maury batting 279. All right, there is 1 out in the third. The Giants have 2 outs in the 6th inning, facing Kirby. Here's the pitch to Wills. Breaking ball is a strike at the inside corner, and it is 0-1. 3rd inning. Maury singled to center first time up. Loops 1 foul off third base. That'll carry out a play, and the count strike 2 to Wills. Ken Forsch, big right-hander, was involved in a tussle with the Dodgers and Willie Crawford earlier in the year in Houston. That was in September. Wills pops it foul. Back out of play. Count stays. Strike 2 to Maury. Crowd, including straight-A students tonight, could approach the 40,000 mark. We have a huge turnout. Line drive, foul outside of third. Wills a little late, might have broken his back. Maury comes back, he's going to test it, it's okay. Strike 2 count still up there. They play Wills well around to the left. Alou shades the line in left field. Menke near the bag at third. Now Maury backs out. The Dodgers have no runs, 2 hits. The Astros 4 runs and 8 hits. Ken Forsch working. All right, it's 0-2 and the pitch on the way. Tap toward third, and it is foul ball. Foul ball. Menke picks it up and gives it back to the pitcher. Wills had crossed first base, now comes back again. So it is 0-2 to Maury. With 2 outs, the Giants have a base runner on a walk. Spire drew a walk. Here's the pitch to Wills. Tap towards second. Morgan backs up, waits for a hop, flips to first in time, and we have 2 outs. Let's pause for station identification. This is the Los Angeles Dodgers radio network. Deep to left field his first time up. Billy hitting 276, facing Forsch. A swing and a foul, chopped at the plate, strike 1. 0-1 the count. We're in the bottom of the 3rd inning. 0-1 the count. Oh, 0-1 reading. Checking signs. Big right-hander Ken Forsch. Now the pitch on the way to Buckner. Line drive, base hit to left center field. Could get through. Here's Buckner around, heads for 2. The ball is at the wall. Billy's at second base and holds on a double as Cedeno brings it back in. So Buckner doubles up the gap in left center. And with 2 down, Willie Davis, the batter, grounded into a force out his first time up. Willie batting .311. The Giants are out in the 6th inning, and here's Willie Davis at bat. It is 1-0 San Diego, 4-0 Houston. We're in the 3rd, they're in the 6th. All right, Willie Davis up now, trying to get the Dodgers on the scoreboard, and every little run would help now in a situation like this. But Davis knows it. Here's the pitch. Foul out of play. Got a fastball in on the hand. Strike 1. 0-1 the count to Willie Davis. Richie Allen on deck. Boy, the fans really want to break loose here tonight, but they got real choked up in that first inning when the Astros came in with 4 big ones. Now they're trying to get something going here. Strike 1 count. Davis waiting. Buckner on second base. Ken Forsch ready to go with it. 2 outs. Here's the look now. The pitch on the way to Willie. Swung on and missed. Strike 2. Went for a low fastball. And now Howard goes out to have a talk with his pitcher. They're going to the bottom of the sixth in San Diego. The Padres lead 1-0. Kirby. Tomorrow night it'll be Roberts. But the Dodgers have to help themselves. They trail by 4. Richie Allen leaning on deck off to the left. Willie Davis at the plate. Strike 2 count to Willie. Free Dog is up there. He has 10 home runs and 74 RBIs, trying to get on base for Richie. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Line drive foul into the stands in right field. He got a curveball and hit it too soon and pulled it away foul. Willie with 10 home runs, 74 RBIs, and a .311 average. The Dodgers have a team average of 266. The Astros 241. All right, Buckner away from second base. Davis waiting, still strike 2. Here's the look by Forsch and the pitch. Tapped over the middle behind second base. Morgan over. Off balance throw is in time. Davis out on a close play at first. On a stretch by Watson. So Willie is out. Good play by Morgan to get him. And the Dodgers, no runs, 1 hit, and a man left. They've left 3 through 3 innings, and the score at the end of 3, the Astros 4, the Dodgers nothing.
Have you ever considered that the labels on the food you buy are a lot like a scoreboard? They're packed with information, and what they tell you can often save you money. Next time you're in the delicatessen section of your market, take a good look at the packages of sliced cooked ham. You'll see that most contain only 4 ounces of ham, but Farmer John's is a full 5 ounces, an ounce more than most of the rest. Yes, a 5-ounce package of Farmer John ham often costs less than the smaller packages. In fact, every package of Farmer John luncheon meat is 5 ounces to give you more for your money. And his delicious variety includes all-meat bologna, Italian-style cotto salami, ham roll, and head cheese. Once again, each and every one is a full 5 ounces. Not 4, but 5. See for yourself next time you shop. Look for Farmer John luncheon meats in the delicatessen section of your market and save. And by the way, if you don't see them, speak up. Ask for them. Farmer John luncheon meats. You can't go wrong.
Well, we've played 3 innings, and it is 4-0 Houston on 8 hits. The Dodgers have 3. Doyle Alexander all set to go to work into the 4th. The Astros coming to bat. More play. Here's Vinny.
All right, Jerry, I couldn't help thinking of the contrast between last night and tonight as far as the game here at Dodger Stadium. Tonight, as we go to the 4th inning, we played 3 innings in an hour and 2 or 3 minutes. Last night, the entire game took an hour and 37. Joe Morgan, Cesar Cedeno, and Bob Watson in that order in the 4th. Astros 4. They got them all in the first inning. 4 runs on 4 hits against number 44, Al Downing. Doyle Alexander picking up for him. The right-handed pitch is low and inside off Sims' glove. 1-0 the count. In San Diego, Ollie Brown has opened up with a single. And the next batter promptly hit into a double play. It's Jerry Johnson pitching for the Giants in relief of John Cumberland. He came in to save Cumberland a tough spot by striking out Nate Colbert. And it is Clay Kirby pitching another strong effort, incredibly so, through 6. The pitch is lifted to right center. Davis coming in a hurry, and one hands it on the run. Made it look easy. One away. Fly ball to right center. And here is Cesar Cedeno. The center fielder struck out and singled. 4 runs, 8 hits. The Dodgers, no runs, 3 hits. The Astros have had at least 1 hit in every inning. We have really come out swinging. Oddly enough, the Astros have not hit much against the Dodgers all year. The team batting average for Houston against Dodgers pitching prior to tonight, only .229. Cedeno takes a strike. Cedeno is one fellow who has worn the Dodgers out. He has 23 hits against them. He's going to be quite a player, this fella. Strike 1 pitch to Cedeno, low, 1-1. They asked a little bit too much of him this year. In other words, he came up last year, hit .290 in the last 2 months or so, and naturally had the label can't miss, and they expected him, I guess, to hit .350. but it's a lot tougher. The pitch to Cedeno outside, ball 2, 2-1. The Padres are out now in the 6th inning. So the end of 6 in San Diego. It remains Padres 1, Giants nothing. 2-1, the count to Cesar Cedeno. Alexander checking, Cesar waiting. Right-hander delivers on the hands, and it's hit foul outside of first. New stick for Cedeno. He chipped that one. Cedeno has done one thing, however, the prophets can boast about. He is leading the Astros in RBIs. He has 80. He's going to be well, he has all of the tools. He can do everything. He can run and throw and hit with power. And he's just 21. He's just a kid. 2-2 pitch to Cesar. Fastball hit to the hole at short. Knocked down, but that's all by Wills. Even had he fielded the ball cleanly, it is doubtful he'd have been able to throw Cedeno out. He runs too well for that. So Cedeno has 24 hits against the Dodgers. And the batter will be Bob Watson. In the 7th inning, when the Giants come up, they will have Ken Henderson, Tito Fuentes, and Willie Mays. And if anybody gets on, Willie McCovey. As we said, as soon as anything happens, you've got it. The pitch to Watson, breaking ball, swung on and missed, 0-1. The count to Bob Watson. Cedeno held on by Bill Buckner. 4th inning, Astros 4, Dodgers nothing. Throw to first base, close, with Cedeno back standing up. The only run in that Padres game was runners at first and third. Barton hit a high bouncer back towards the box that Cumberland knocked down, but his only play was to first, and the only run scored. Henderson has opened up with a single to left field. 7th inning. Strike 1 pitch to Watson is a high fly ball into deep left center. Back goes Davis to the wall, leaps up, and it's gone. A home run, and that makes it 6-0 Houston. And for the Dodgers tonight, their only hope rests in the city of San Diego. 6 runs and 10 hits for the Astros, who have really come out swinging nice and loose. So Watson touching them all. For Bob, his 9th home run. He now has 66 runs batted in. He's driven in 3 tonight. If the Giants and Dodgers lose tonight, the Giants have clinched a mathematical tie, and then they would be 1 in front with each with 1 left. The bouncer back to Alexander, and Doyle throws to Buckner for the out. However, if the Dodgers lose and the Giants win, that'll be it. So it's 6-0 Houston in the 4th inning. Kenny Henderson has singled to open up the 7th. Tito Fuentes has sacrificed Ken Henderson to second base. And with 1 out and Henderson at second, it'll be Willie Mays and Willie McCovey against Clay Kirby, who has turned in a remarkable effort. Kirby must be one of the stronger men in the league. The pitch to Alou, a slicer, to Hopper, down to Valentine, who throws him out. The Astros go, but they pick up 2 runs. 2 hits. The end of 3.5. Astros 6. Dodgers nothing.
Do you remember the guy you went out with just before you met Jim?
Dennis, the one who gave me the minnow net for my birthday.
Right, crazy Dennis. Didn't he propose to you?
On our 5th and last fishing trip. He said I was the only girl he'd ever met who knew how to row. Oh, hey, I'm going to make us some coffee.
Oh, look, I'm not going to stay there. Do you have...
When people are enjoying each other's company, it's a natural time to enjoy coffee. These are the moments MJB is made for. We know how much a good, rich cup of hot coffee adds to these little get-togethers. So we make sure that MJB always tastes as good as you remember it. Full-flavored, but without any bitter, acidy taste. MJB, the coffee that never disappoints.
Give me coffee and you'll never get rid of me.
Look, as long as you're here, I have an excuse for not working.
MJB, there's a lot of care in every cup.
Bottom of the fourth inning with the Astros leading the Dodgers 6-0. And Ken Forsch getting ready to pitch to Richie Allen, Willie Crawford, and Manny Mota. In San Diego, 1-0 Padres, seventh inning. Kenny Henderson at second base, and the count to Willie Mays, 2 balls and 1 strike, with Willie McCovey on deck. Richie Allen flied to right field in the first inning. He's 0 for 1. The pitch to Rich, ground ball to shortstop. Metzger gloves it just about at his nose and throws him out. 1 away. The way Forsch is pitching and the way the Astros have been hitting, the Dodgers have only one chance. Clay Kirby and the Padres. The count to Willie Mays is 2-2 with 1 out. Henderson at second base. 1-0 Padres in the 7th. And Kirby, it's really, the more you know about baseball, the more you realize what a job he is doing tonight. Here's the pitch to Willie Crawford, a strike. He made 234 pitches Friday night. To do that any time of the year is hard to believe, but late in September, wow. And now he's pitching a tough shutout so far tonight. He has gone 3-2 to Willie Mays. So a full count to Mays, Henderson at second, 1 out in the 7th, and the Astros leading the Dodgers here 6-0. Here's the 1-1 pitch to Crawford. Half swing, but he held up. Gorman checking the line umpires who do not make a gesture. That means ball 2. 2-1. Mays struck out on a 3-2 pitch. So there are 2 outs. Willie Mays has suddenly gotten to be an old man. There's a high pop fly back at third base. Menke and Metzger making the catch in foul ground. Now, that is certainly not a knock. If I ever really marveled at a player's ability, it would be Willie Mays down through the years. So what I mean is, I will almost bet that in the last, how many at-bats he's had over the last 20 games, he has struck out at least half the time. At least half. And Mays, when he just struck out, has struck out for the 121st time this year. And boy, that's not like Willie. They're not going to fool with McCovey. They'll walk him. There's a bunt by Mota, foul, and the count 0-1. So in a moment, the Giants will have runners at first and second, 2 out, and Bobby Bonds, who went out for a full muscle, he'll have to give way to Dave Kingman. So the youngster from SC will be on the spot in a moment in San Diego, Dave Kingman. Here's the strike 1 pitch to Manny Mota. Force deals, foul back in the count 0-2. Bobby Bonds suffered a pulled muscle, so Kingman will be the man on the spot. So McCovey is getting the intentional walk. Here's the strike 2 pitch to Mota. Breaking ball outside. Ball 1, 1-2. Talking about Mays, we were saying how he has struck out half of his at-bats over the last 10 days at least. He has struck out 2 out of 4 times tonight. 1-2, the count to Manny Mota. Here comes Forsch, and it's swung on and missed, strike 3. So down goes Manny and the Dodgers, and at the end of 4, Astros 6, Dodgers nothing.
When an athlete hears the fans yell charge, he usually puts a little more spirit into his performance. When you say charge with a Union 76 credit card, you get a more spirited performance, too, because Union 76 is the first major gasoline company throughout the West to offer you revolving credit. And revolving credit means that now you can charge the tires, batteries, and other automotive accessories you need with no fuss. No complicated contracts to sign. No 3, 6, or 12-month deadlines to meet. Why, it's just like shopping with a department store credit card. And in addition to the fine products and services at your Union Oil dealers, a Union 76 credit card is good at such places as major car rental agencies and over 500 motels and inns. Pick up a credit card application from your Union 76 dealer and get the spirit. The spirit of 76 lives at Union Oil.
We go to the 5th inning with the Astros leading the Dodgers 6-0. After McCovey was walked intentionally, Dave Kingman singled home the tying run. Kenny Henderson scored on the single by Kingman, so the Giants and Padres are even 1-1. On the base hit, McCovey went to third, and the batter will be Dick Dietz. And Dietz hit into a force play, so the inning is over. However, the Giants got a run And at the end of 6.5 innings, the Giants and the Padres are tied 1-1. The Dodgers are tied up in knots. The Astros leading them 6-0. Denis Menke, Larry Howard, and Ken Forsch in that order. They are now posting the details of the 7th inning where the Giants scored the tying run. And now here's Menke at the plate, walked and singled. Alexander delivers, breaking ball down and away, ball 1. Doyle has been fine until a 2-run home run in the 4th inning by Bob Watson spilled ink all over his book. Doyle checking, Menke waiting, and the 1-0 pitch on the way. Low and outside, ball 2. This figures to be Alexander's last inning of work. He is due to bat third when he comes up in the 5th inning. The pitch is outside, ball 3. So Dave Kingman, the kid from SC, who spent the year at Phoenix and has come up with so many timely base hits, singled home the tying run, and they're putting up the play-by-play on the message board now. The pitch is strike, 3-1. Dietz grounded out to end the inning, and it'll be the bottom of the San Diego lineup. Bob Barton, Clay Kirby, and then Tommy Dean, the shortstop, when the Padres hit in the bottom of the 7th inning. Here's the 3-1 pitch on the way. Strike on the outside corner, 3-2. Six runs on 10 hits for the Astros. No runs, 3 hits for the Dodgers. Boy, it sure looks like the Giants have a star of the future, in fact, of the present, in that Kingman. Pitch fouled away, 3-2. In fact, the Giants, to give them their just desserts, lost Kingman for over 12 days. He went out with an appendectomy and then came right back even after he had been in the hospital to play almost immediately. He's a remarkable young man, Dave Kingman. Rod Dado was quoted as saying he's the finest player he's ever had at SC, and of course Rod has had a room full. Here's the 3-2 pitch to Menke. Inside, off Sims Mitt, Dennis trotting to first base on ball 4. Catcher Larry Howard coming up.
Howard, catcher.
Howard singled to center to drive in 2 runs and struck out. He's 1 for 2. When the Dodgers bat in the 5th, they have Sims, Valentine, and Alexander's spot, and they'll get somebody up in the bullpen in a moment. Jose Pena will be the Dodger to get up in the pen. Alexander hands it aside. Right hand hitting Howard at the plate. Doyle delivers. Fastball high, ball 1. Astros got 4 in the 1st inning to banish Al Downing, and they added 2 more against Alexander in the 4th. The Dodgers, meanwhile, have gotten 1 man to second base. That was Buckner, who doubled in the 3rd. So Forsch has been very tough. The 1-0 pitch is a slow dribbler towards Richie Allen. Takes a good hop for him, and he's able to throw him out. Howard does not run well. On the play, Menke advances to second. Bob Barton, the ex-Giant, who drove in the Padres' run with an infield out, this time gets an infield single, opening up matters in the bottom of the 7th inning. That'll bring up Clay Kirby, and of course, he figures he's bunting. Preston Gomez piloting the Padres, and we'll see about Clay Kirby. Kirby tried to sacrifice and missed the bunt. The pitch swung on and missed, and Barton, who was on first base, was caught in a rundown and tagged out. So Barton opened up with a single, but now there's 1 out and the bases are empty, and Kirby missed the bunt in the count 0-1. Ken Forsch, a pretty good hitting pitcher at the plate. Alexander delivers, line drive, base hit to center. I'll say he's 2 for 3, and they're going to hold Menke at third base. Ball cut off by Buckner. So a line single to center for Ken Forsch. That's his 2nd hit. 1st and 3rd, 1 out in the 5th, and Roger Metzger the batter.
Roger Metzger.
It's 1-1, San Diego and the Giants. Bottom of the 7th inning with 1 out. Pitcher Clay Kirby is at the plate. That was a rather expensive bunt and run play. course, Gomez, with a slow runner, Barton, on the bases, tried to give him a head start. But Kirby, when he missed the bunt, and Barton was exposed and nailed easily. Metzger has struck out, grounded to third, and hit into a force play. The switch-hitting shortstop is 0 for 3. The Astros trying to get a ton now. They're leading 6-0. Clay Kirby has struck out, so there are 2 outs in San Diego. And Tommy Dean, who is playing shortstop now for Enzo Hernandez, is in the leadoff spot. Tommy, an ex-Dodger, will be coming up. The pitch is squeezed, and it's missed, and they have got Menke hung up, and the throw is to Allen, and Menke's already past him. And the Dodgers miss one there. Roger Metzger tried to squeeze home Menke and missed the bunt, and Menke would have been a dead duck. But by the time Sim threw the ball to Richie Allen, Menke had just passed Richie. Meanwhile, Ken Forsch moved to second base. So the Astros have runners at second and third with 1 out. 0-1 the count to Menke. Menke at third, Metzger at the plate. They might even try to squeeze again. The infield is up. Alexander's going to come out of a windup anyway. And the pitch to Metzger, a high bouncer, speared by Valentine. He has no play but first base. Menke scores. Forsch takes third. And the Astros have done it. It's 7-11 now. 7 runs, 11 hits. 7-0 Houston. And Joe Morgan will be coming up. So a run batted in for Roger Metzger. The run that the Dodgers let stay alive. Two down, Forsch at third base. And the pitch, the bouncer knocked down by Alexander. He picks it up, fires, and Buckner can't hold on to a high throw. Forsch scores. It is 8-0 in favor of the Astros. So Alexander will get an error. Doyle is 21 years old, and he's in a pretty tough ball game. When you're 21 and you're exposed to this kind of pressure, he knocked the ball down and then hurried a high throw to first base. So it is 8-0 Houston. And the batter will be Cesar Cedeno. With 2 out in the 7th inning at San Diego, Tommy Dean has just walked. Alexander at the belt and delivers, and Cedeno takes a strike. 0-1. Well, for the Giants, it's right there waiting for them. That is to say, the Dodgers are buried underneath an 8-0 hill, and the Giants are 1-1 with the Padres, 7th inning. Here's the strike one pitch. Instead, it's a throw to first. Morgan hops back to the bag. Little Joe with 38 stolen bases. Don Mason, the left-hand hitting second baseman and ex-Giant, is at the plate for the Padres. Strike one pitch is a broken bat one-hopper that Allen takes from Wills and throws to Valentine. 5-4 force play. Jerry Johnson, who has done it before, while trying to keep Tommy Dean on, has balked him to second. So Johnson's having a terrible time lately in the clutch. Meanwhile, the Dodgers aren't doing very well. The Astros get 2 more runs on 1 hit and an error, a man left. At the end of 4.5, Astros 8, Dodgers nothing.
Schlitz, Milwaukee and the world. One chance at life, and you can't be afraid to live it, because second chances never come, but you wouldn't have it any other way. Same with your beer. You wouldn't have it any other way either. Schlitz. Why settle for less? You're out of Schlitz. You're out of beer.
Bottom of the fifth inning, the Astros leading the Dodgers 8-0. In San Diego, with 2 out, Tommy Dean, an ex-Dodger, walked. Jerry Johnson balked him to second, and Johnson is now pitching to an ex-Giant. And the ballgame is tied 1-1. Don Mason, left-hand hitting second baseman, is up there with a chance to break the tie in San Diego. Duke Sims, Bobby Valentine, and a hitter for Doyle Alexander. That would figure here in the fifth inning. The Astros 8-0 out in front. Forsch delivers, and it's popped up on the left side. Menke crossing the foul line. Dennis waiting and makes the catch. One away. Let's pause for station identification. This is the Los Angeles Dodgers Radio Network.
Hi, this is Dave Fisher reminding you to stay tuned for more of me right after the Dodger game here on KTAR in Phoenix, Arizona. We'll be back from Bill Johnson's Big Apple.
The batter is Bobby Valentine. He takes a strike, and the count 0-1. 8 runs on 11 hits. It's just not been any contest here tonight. It's been all Houston. The strike one pitch, Valentine pops it up. Bob Watson is waiting and makes the catch. 2 down. So the Dodgers involved in one of their poorer efforts of the year, and certainly the worst game they have played in weeks. And it has popped up tonight. Bill Cedeno coming up to hit for Doyle Alexander.
Batting for Alexander, number 16, Bill Cedeno.
In San Diego, Don Mason is at the plate, and the count has reached 2-2. Tommy Dean at second base, 2 out in the 7th inning, and that game tied 1-1. Boy, that's another ironic situation. Dean, the ex-Dodger, at second. Mason, the ex-Giant, at the plate. Joe Moeller is up throwing instead of Jose Pena. The count to Mason has gone to 3-2. Sudeikis hitting for Alexander, takes 2 pitches, 1 ball and 1 strike to count. After Mason, you start getting down into the hitters in the San Diego lineup. On deck is center fielder Johnny Jeter. Sudsy hits a fly ball to right field. Jimmy Wynn moves back and over to his right a bit, just waiting, and puts that away. And that's just what Forsch has been doing, putting the Dodgers away. He's retired the last 7 in a row. And at the end of 5, Astros 8, Dodgers nothing. Sometimes when the ball club is out of town, Farmer John flies back east to the famous corn country. He enjoys it there, he says, because the air is like it used to be everywhere, clear and clean and fresh. It's real country farmland with mile after mile of tall green corn as far as you can see. In fact, so much corn is grown that they can afford to use it as feed. Well, that's why pork from this heartland of America is the finest in the world. Farmer John uses only this pork to make his ham, and more than that, because he's a stickler for freshness, he brings it out here live, and it's U.S. inspected and dressed fresh right here in the West. Most packers ship their pork in frozen or cold storage. So Farmer John starts with the finest and freshest. Then he smokes his ham an old-time Western way over native Western wood to give it the same wonderful Western flavor the pioneers of the West enjoyed in their home-smoked ham. So now you know why we say Farmer John ham is the easternmost in quality and the westernmost in flavor.
Waiting for you at Dodger Stadium, gift certificates from Sears Roebuck, merchandise certificates for Florsham shoes from Goods Barnett, a man's Rolex wristwatch with bracelet from B.D. Howes & Son on Wilshire Boulevard, 30 Andy Williams records from Columbia Records, a gold pin of a ball player at bat from California Jules Smith, a cassette tape recorder from Panasonic, an auto cassette from TIAC Corporation, a dozen notes and cookbooks, luggage by Beckles, and many other prizes. Fan Appreciation Night tomorrow. Back to play. Here's Finn.
All right, Jerry. It's 8-0 in favor of the Astros. 8 runs, 11 hits. Dodgers no runs, 3 hits, and an error. Joe Moeller will pick up. In San Diego, 2 out, runners at first and second. The count to Johnny Jeter, 1 ball and 1 strike. Jeter has hit hard against Johnny Cumberland. He had a single and a double. So the young center fielder who came up through the Pirate organization is at the plate right now. 1-1, 2 out in the 7th inning. And an ex-Dodger at second base, Tommy Dean, and an ex-Giant at first base, Don Mason. 2 balls, 1 strike to Johnny Jeter, and Bob Watson will start things off. Bob Watson waiting, and Moeller looks in to get a sign from Duke Sims. Joe into the windup now, and the first pitch to Bob Watson. Fastball, a high hopper over Allen's head and bouncing into left field. That'll be a dozen hits for the Astros in 5 innings. Things are just having a day in the country today.
Right field.
So a base hit for Watson. He's had 2 singles and a home run. The count to Johnny Jeter in San Diego, 2 balls and 2 strikes. The Dodgers were touched up for 17 hits by Houston and Atlanta. And Houston looks like they're trying to do it again. And Johnny Jeter just hit a fly ball that was caught. So the 7th inning rally goes down the drain in San Diego. That means the Giants will come up in the 8th inning. And that ball game is tied 1-1, the Giants and the Padres. The Dodgers are out of sight tonight. It's 8-0 Houston in the 6th inning. Watson standing at first, held on by Buckner. Jimmy Wynn has singled, hit into a force play, and hit back to the box. Moeller a check of first, overhand curve, another big bouncer. This one foul outside of third, and the count 0-2. Doyle Alexander, in 3 1/3 innings, allowed 4 runs and 5 hits. A 2-run home run to Bob Watson, and then some strange goings-on in the 5th inning for 2 more. Here's the strike 2 pitch to Jimmy Wynn. Half swing fly ball into shallow center. Valentine waving, he's got it and makes the catch. Bobby knew he had that all the way. He was just worried about a tie with Willie Davis. He waved him away. 1 out, and Jesus Alou coming out.
Alou. Left field.
Jesus Alou, doubled, grounded out twice. Jesus Alou, 1 for 3. Doubled inside the bag against Downing in the 1st inning. He takes low and inside, ball 1, 1-0. One and 0 to Jesus Alou. Moeller ready to go to a stretch, but time had been called by first base umpire Landis at the request of base runner Watson, who wanted to check with Hub Kettle. The Astros, with Alou especially, might play hit and run, even though they're leading 8-0. It's all part of it. They've already tried to squeeze in a run when they were leading 6-0. They're now out in front 8-0. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Alou. He takes a good breaking ball for a strike, and the count 1-1. One and 1. The count to Jesus Alou. Moeller ready. Another look at Watson. The pitch to Alou is low. Ball 2, 2-1. The Astros scored 4 in the 1st inning to chase Al Downing. Then 2 in the 4th and 2 in the 5th. Clay Kirby has just struck out Alan Gallagher to start off the 8th inning as Alou fouls it away. 2-2. Boy, I really marvel at the performance Kirby is putting in tonight. When he struck out Gallagher, that is the 8th strikeout for him. The young right-hander who pitched so long, so hard, and so well Friday night. So it's 1-1, and Chris Spire is the batter with 1 out in the 8th inning. Now the 2-2 pitch to Alou. On the hands, hit sharply under Allen's glove and through into left field. And not stopping at second is Watson. A big turn at first by Alou, and he dives back to the bag. 13 base hits for the Astros. They are just eating up the Dodgers tonight. And the batter is Denis Menke.
Third base.
Eight runs, 13 hits for Houston. No runs, 3 hits for the Dodgers. The batter is Denis Menke. He's walked twice and singled. So this game is over just about for sure, unless the Dodgers really pull a miracle. But boy, the one in San Diego is really alive. 1-1 in the 8th inning. The pitch is low, ball 1, 1-0.
And with 2 down, Jerry Johnson will be the batter. Jerry struck out in his only at bat. Really a performance by Clay Kirby out here tonight. He comes back after going 2 in 16 innings Friday night. He's thrown a lot of pitches tonight. Johnson down one deep short. Back at it by Dean. A long throw, and he gets it. No left on. We go to the bottom of the 8th. And 1-1.
It's missed, and that's what happened in Major League Baseball. In the American League, Baltimore took a pair from Boston 10-2 and 5-4.
Moeller set at the belt, looks back at second base at Alou, and delivers to Howard a strike. 0-1. Boy, Bob Watson, the local boy, having a big night. He has scored 3 times. He has driven in 3, and he has 3 hits and 4 at-bats. So Watson has really been leading the parade. Now the strike 1 pitch to Larry Howard. Moeller delivers, breaking ball over, strike 2. 0-2. Nine-0 Astros here in the 6th inning. They're going to the bottom of the 8th in San Diego, all tied up 1-1.
Detroit 1. Los Angeles, Houston leads 9-0 over the Dodgers with the 6th inning still going on. Jerry Johnson to add a nervous inning in the 7th. Now 10-0 Houston leads the Dodgers in the 6th inning. Out here, it's 1-1. Strange part about this one is that it's a Fire family. The Dodgers are defeated by Houston. If the Giants are beaten by the Padres tonight, it's been to the final day with the Dodgers still with a chance to tie. Allen is in at third base. Replacing Gallagher. And Nate Colvin leads off against Jerry Johnson. Takes low for him. 17,134 state officials tonight. Jerry Johnson delivers. And it's low for ball 2. Johnson has not been a ball of fire. He has given up a line drive hit for Mason. That Barton was kicked off. But then he walked right hitting Tommy Green. Don Mason finally got Jeter to fly out to him with him. He walked Dean to second. Well, Senator McGee is batting for Jerry. New opener. Colbert swings. Colbert was the first man that dropped his face, and he struck him out with a runner at second and 2 out in the 5th inning. He released Tom Cumberland. There will be action again. McMahon and Hamilton get up for the Giants for both. That's 2-1 pitch to Colbert. Strike 2 call. The slider Jerry. In the 5.5, Houston 10, the Dodgers nothing. I'd like to remind you there are tickets remaining and limited amount reserved general admission for the playoff series. It's number 150 miles. Johnson gets his second strikeout. buckets available if desired. They got 3 strikeouts because they struck out 30 on the second. They got 30 twice. Gate and Candlestick Park from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. The repackaging stores, North American San Francisco, downtown San Jose. Pitch to Ollie Brown. Fouled away, strike 1. Down. He's 2 for 3. A pair of singles, and he scored the Padre run. He singled home in the second. He eventually scored when Martin grounded one off the glove of Cumberland. Down 1 strike to the right-hand batting Ollie Brown. Johnson's 1 strike pitch. High for a ball. 1-1. And Deep fires the ball back out to Johnson and yells at him about getting that pitch up. That was a slider. And he got it. 1-1. 1 out. Bases empty. There's 1-1 pitch. Drive to right center field. Mays racing over there is there. Makes the catch. Brown hits that one hard into right center. 21. Justin. And with 2 out. Cito Gaston, who was lined out, double. And he hit into a triple play. 2 down. The base is empty. Dodgers have 1 out in the 6th. Mary's pitch. Check swing by Gaston. Did he swing or not? Cootis is questioned by Crawford, and Colacutis says that Gaston didn't swing at that one. So Colacutis is 2 out of 3. 2 to San Diego. Colacutis and John swung out. 1 to San Diego didn't. And Dick Deep and Sam Crawford are in the house. Out of 1-0. A 1-0 pitch. Popped up foul out of play, and it's the ball on the front. Buckner singled with 1 out in the 6th for the Dodgers. This is a big spot for Jerry Johnson. We talked about your rookies and such. Jerry Johnson has never been in this spot. As some of the veterans have not been in this spot as far as that goes. Check swing, did he swing at this one? No. 2-1. Breaking pitch, and Gaston held up. Johnson had a sparkling career before coming to the job. Was 4-4 with Philadelphia in 68. 6-13 with him. Strike 2-2. He's 5-4 last year. He's got 2 on with 1 out in the bottom of the 6th inning. 2-2 count to Gaston. Jerry's 2-2 pitch. Struck him out. No, he fouled it. Bounced out of deep and it stays at 2-2. Johnson throwing a lot of breaking stuff hard. Flooded to Gaston with 2 down. It's 2 down. Dodgers Stadium. The Mariners is fouled out for the 2nd out. 2 down and 2 on. Gaston leads 10-0. Hamilton and McMahon throwing the Jack Wilson. Here there's 2 out in the bottom of the 8th. Score tied 1-1. Giants in the 9th inning will go to the top of the order. 2-2 pitch. Striking out. No runs, no hits, no errors, no 1 left on. We have gone 8 full innings, and the score is tied at 1-1.
In another National League game, Chicago and Montreal, and Chicago leading that game by the score of 5-4 after 8 innings. I'm sure the final score is in on that game, or it should be, but we haven't checked it yet. We'll take a look a little bit later. Philip Williams for 2 runs in that game for Chicago. It's 27 and 28 for the season. Tapper for Chicago. Benko, Marshall, and Gura for Montreal. The American League, Minnesota beat California 1-0. It was Oakland 8, Kansas City 7 as the Wolves pushed across the field at the bottom of the 9th and come from behind to win it. In fact, they scored 7 of the 8 runs in the last 3 innings. 3 runs in the 7th, 2 runs in the 8th, and 2 more in the 9th. Yorktown, Washington 6-3. Sotomayor won at 16. Schellenbach, the loser for Washington, will finish the season at 3-11.
And Cleveland defeated Detroit by the score of 2-1. Colbert, the winner. Lowlands, the loser. Lowlands will finish at 25 and 14. Against Clay Kirby, the top of the Giant order. And here's some news for you. In the Giant bullpen, Gaylord Terry starts to warm up. Gaylord, who went 9 innings last night, starting the Padres with no earned runs, beating them 7-1 on 7 hits. And Terry is in the bullpen now, starting to loosen up to see if he could get ready to maybe get one man in this ball game. It's going to take Terry quite a while to warm up, I would imagine. He is down there now, trying to throw the Giants. Will send up Henderson, who is 2-2 the Giants run. Kirby delivers to the left-hand batting Henderson, who drags the ball off the Kirby. Almost moved it over his head, but Kirby made the catch. Henderson trying to cut his way off, but he popped it up to the pitcher, and that's out number 1, and Tito Fuentes. Henderson trying to drag a bunt. And he popped it. It appeared for a moment he might have popped it over Kirby's head. The pitcher managed to get back to make the catch. 1 down. Tito Fuentes, a sacrifice. Burned it up a sacrifice. And Tito Fuentes has a rhythm section. Stand here on the left field. And the score goes up to Houston leads 10-0 over the Dodgers at the end of 7. Pitch is low to Fuentes. At the end of 6, so in the 7th inning. Houston leads 10-0. That brings a reaction from the crowd, but the Giants, as they get a run, they're going to make something out of it. A foul to the team by Fuentes, that's 1-1. Ball and a strike. Fuentes batting in the 9th inning with 1 out. He's got 7 hits. The Giants have made an error. Giants with 1 out in the 9th. Clay Kirby doing a magnificent job coming back off that long performance last Friday night. 1-1 pitch to Fuentes. Swung on and missed the platform of 22. Ball and 2-strike count. Now just that backed up with 2 strikes on Fuentes. Willie Mays, you're up next. Mays is struck out, popped up, and struck out again. Kirby's 1-2 pitch to Tito. Hot foul out of play, and he stays at 1-2. John Morgan is tripled for Houston with 1 out in the 7th inning. Houston is 20 hits today. 17 hits. 1-2 pitch to Fuentes. Grounded to the right side, waiting for it to the first baseman Colbert, and beats Fuentes to the mound. On the top of the 9th, the Giants leave it up to Willie Davis. 20-year-old Mays, who has struck out twice, doubled in the 3rd, and popped up. And it's up to Mays. It's prepared for the minute in going in the top of the 9th inning. If they do not score here, we'll go to sudden death, as far as the Giants are concerned. Kirby looking at it, Mays. Right-hander delivers. Swing and a miss by Willie. And a fastball. A young right-hander who's just really at the beginning of his career, and a veteran center fielder who's nearing the end of his. Takes each other here in the 9th inning. Mays takes the breaking pitch from the dirt for about 1-1. Johnny Parker said an interesting thing down here the other night. He said, don't worry, Mays will look for it. Well, Mays is in a spot right now where he could win it. 1-1 pitch. One-on miss. Willie was trying to win it. And Mays with a bad shoulder. He takes time as he swung and missed, and he wants to relax for a minute. As his right shoulder has been giving him problems. That is practically season-long thing for Mays, and about the first few months of the season, Willie takes time. Willie trying his mightiest Swinging with everything he's got, trying to hit one out of here. Kirby's 1-2 pitch. Struck it out. The young man wins the battle. No runs, no hits, no errors, and no one left to go the bottom of the ninth. And Jerry Johnson will have to get about to get the Giants another shot at it. And score as the end of 8.5. The Giants got the Padres. Well, things continue to tighten up in San Diego. Further to the north, the Los Angeles Dodgers are having a tough time as Houston is leading that ball game by the score of 10-0. You might be curious as to some of the comments made earlier in this ball game by Lon Simmons about Vin Scully, the Dodgers network. What we're facing KFI in Los Angeles is a 50,000-watt third-channel station. In fact, it's the only one next to Mississippi. That might not mean too much to most people. But what it really means is the reception is incredible. You can hear that all over the western part of the United States. And so, down in San Diego, about 200 miles or so south, they've got their little transistor radio tuned into KFI. That's where you're getting almost play-by-play of what's going on at Dodger Stadium. KSFO in San Francisco, the San Francisco Giant station, picks up pretty well. 55,000-watt station, but nonetheless it can be heard in Los Angeles, and so that's how both networks know what the other team is doing. We go to the bottom of the ninth. At the end of 6.5 at Dodger Stadium, Houston leads 11-0. You'd almost say that one is pretty close to being decided. But it will not do the Giants much good, other than to assure them a tie. If the Dodgers lose, if the Giants lose to the Padres tonight. Now, Jerry Johnson has to pitch from out of the ninth. Jerry Johnson to lead off with a single flat out and popped up. Jerry picks the touchdown. Inside, almost hit it, ball one. One of the Perry is going now, is it? Yes, Perry is still playing. One was Steve Harrison. Perry is not throwing hard. He's just trying to get loose. Justad fouls the pitch away, and it's 1-1. Justad, Martin, and then Kirby for a pinch batter. Steve Arlen throws in the bullpen for the Padres. It's almost asking too much of Kirby to go into extra innings again tonight after pitching 15 his last time. Justad hits a high drive to left field, but Henderson will have room. That one is the warning pass. The next attack, or out number one. Justad is simply pretty hard. And anything scares you now, because it is but snap. Deep goes out to pass to Johnny Johnson. With one down, Bob Barton, who has driven in the Padres run with a ground boundary ball off the glove of starter John Cupple, has walked and has singled when Turner couldn't handle his line drive. And Barton facing Jerry Thompson. Johnson can't afford to make this mistake on top. He hit the ball out on the Giants this year already. Swing and a foul back. Strike one. You know what happened on Mexico now? Kirby does for that. We're in the bottom of the ninth inning, tied at 1-1. One out for the Masters in the seventh inning as they trail 11-0. Jerry Johnson picks the bunt. He checks and takes low for a ball. Johnson, but he hits the knees. It's 1-1. Each club with 7 hits, each with a run. We're in the bottom of the ninth. And it left 11 men on. The Padres hit stranded 8. And Johnson's 1-1 pitch. Martin swings and misses a high fastball and it's 2-2. Ball and 2 strikes to count the Padres. One down, and the base is empty for the Padres. Lanier driving the third baseline and backed up deep. Johnson trying to send this into the 10th inning. And it's 5-1 bottom of the ninth. So 1-2 pitch. Bounds away from deep to 2-2. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Martin. The Giants, if they get that far, will have McCulley, Kingman, and Deep from the 10th. Martin waits at the plate with a 2-2 pass. Now Barton backs away. Bob might be up here guessing fastball in this spot, knowing that Johnson does not want to walk him. Jerry's 2-2 pitch. Fastball hits the right field. Kingman goes back, waiting for this. The rookie is there, makes the catch, and 2 men are down. And I will have to say, even though Dave Kingman is a very accomplished and poised young ball player, that he had to have some thoughts as that fly ball was coming out to him. You just can't be normal. Within a ball game that means this much, your heart doesn't beat a little faster when you have to catch a fly ball. 2 men out. Right there, they got hands from this crowd and the city building. This young man has hit another beautiful ball game, and he is making a habit of it. A pitch to Kirby. Swung on and missed right now. Slide out, grounded out in front. Johnson with 1 out to go to get the chance to the second. Johnson's next pitch. Hunted out and missed. Kirby trying to get on any way he can. Frank Duffy loosens up in the bullpen for Harry is not throwing anymore. Maybe Gilbert found out that he just couldn't do it. Or maybe he's ready and get ready if needed. 0-2 pitch, 1 out and missed. Then Kirby is down on strikes. We go to the 10th inning. How long can you prolong this 1971 season? As we go to the 10th, and the score, the Giants 1 and the Padres 0.
Central City, in the Major League since 1932 as a player or coach, will not return as the third base coach of the Minnesota Twins in 1972. President Calvin Griffith of the Twins said the club, struggling for a 4th place finish in the American League West, will go for 4 rather than 5 coaches next season. Rossetti, according to Griffith, left for home and he's retired. Rossetti admitted his California home could not be reached for comment. Rossetti gaining a lot of his fame as a player, but also as the third base coach with the New York Yankees. Following Wednesday's play in the American League, Baltimore leads Detroit by 11 games. Boston is 17 out. New York by 21.5. Washington by 37 and Cleveland by 43 games. There are only 3 games scheduled Thursday, so most of those clubs will be right where they are. In the West, Oakland is leading Kansas City by 15. Chicago is 22.5. Minnesota by 25.5. California trails by 26, Milwaukee by 30.5. California is battling Minnesota for 5th place actually for 4th place. California's 5th at the moment, Minnesota 4th by 25.5 games. Minnesota's California by a half a game behind 5. Okay, let's get back to the 10th inning now at San Diego Stadium. Well, Kirby out the pitch inning number 7 for the Giants. 4, 5, and 6 spots in the order. First baseman Willie McCovey, right fielder Dave Kingman, and catcher Dick Dees. McCovey to an intentional mark in the first, struck out in the third, single in the fifth, to an intentional mark in the 7th. Padres with 3 infielders on the right side. They just that about 25 feet off the line at third and in the baseline, guarding against the front. Kirby's first pitch to McCovey. High and deep to center field, but Jeter will make the catch. He's back there, he's got it. Line drive to deep center. McCovey hit it on the nose. Dave Kingman came into the ballgame when Bob had to leave with a ball side single. Batted in the 7th with 2 outs and single in the Giant run to tie it up. He's a Giant batter. Kingman, a right-handed hitter. Waits as Kirby flanks up, comes to the plate. Breaking pitch down his foul to the left strike line. Kingman, who doesn't have to swing that hard, hit a home run with over his swing and up there without a count. He was trying to hit one clear out of San Diego Stadium. 370 feet and 18 feet high will be fine, Dave. High inside is shooting a 1-1 count. The 1-1 pitch to Kingman. Swung on a miss, a breaking pitch. A ball and 2 strikes. The Dodgers have 202 outs in the bottom of the 7th. At Los Angeles. Houston in front 11-0. 1-2. High and deep to left field, but not deep enough, I don't think. Back goes Crawford. He watches, and he makes the catch at the wall.
Jackson made the catch. Kingman missed by just literally inches. Here's Dick Keith, who's been handcuffed by Kirby Hanna. Walked in the second, struck out in the third, struck out in the sixth, down into a fourth out in the seventh. Kirby comes to the plate. Breaking pitches low, ball one. A 1-ball, no strike count on these. 2 outs, bases empty, top of the 10th. Giants 1, the Padres 1. Kirby hit, high ball 2. Kirby drops behind the deep, 2 balls and no strikes. Oh, Barry Watkins keeps a long back a run. Dual pitch. Breaking ball outside, ball 3. Dodgers got the bases loaded in the 7th. On 3 hits, the Buckner lined out to the other side. The other 7 minutes, 11-0 Houston. 3-0 pitch to beat. All strike. A 3-0 pitch. Kirby went to the breaking ball. Count on 6 feet. Kirby to the plate. Young on missed strike 2. He's chasing a high breaking pitch, not getting it. A full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Kirby back to the plate, 3-2. Ball strike 3, and a side is retired. Kirby gets number 11. The Giants and the Jets go runs, no hits. The Padres, no runners left. They go to the bottom of the 10th. The Giants 1 and the Padres 1. Kirby's been some kind of tough pitcher there for the last 3 innings. He's now retired 10 Giants in a row. The last man to get on base, Dave Kingman, the 7th inning, and it was Kingman single left field that drove in Henderson on second base with the tying run, and that's why we're in extra inning. San Diego scored. It's on his run in the 2nd inning. As Franz Gaston led off in a single to center field, and then moved to third base, and a run and hit single by Casquat. And he scored an infield single. That's Gaston, Brown, Ollie Brown, scoring. Brown singled to left field and moved to third base. So they got a hit single by Franz Gaston, and then scored on an infield out by Barton, the catcher. So that's how the scoring has gone in this ball game. Meanwhile, up in Los Angeles, this game is in San Diego, and Los Angeles go laughing away in that one. It's 11-0 in favor of Houston, and the Dodgers couldn't care less as long as San Francisco loses this ball game. If they win one tie right now, we'll San Diego back to the bottom of the 10th. Jerry Johnson comes out to pitch the bottom of the 10th against the top of the San Diego order. Shortstop Tommy James, second baseman Don Mason, center fielder Sam Jeter. The Giants had all kinds of chances early. And 2 men out in the 1st inning with 2 outs, open score. Like after having a man at second with 1 out. The runners at 1st and 3rd with 1 out in the 2nd didn't score. The runners at 2nd and 3rd with nobody out. The bases hitter with 1 out in the 3rd and did not score. Finally got a run in the 7th and a single by Henderson, a sacrifice, and Dave Kingman 2-out single. Bobby scored in the 2nd inning on a single by Brown, and with 1 out, Martin didn't feel out getting a run here. Brown is trying to certainly hit and run single by Justin. Here's Tommy J, the shortstop, who was 0 for 2 and went. Right-handed batter. Jerry Johnson to the plate. Fastball, high ball 1. Johnson came on with 2 outs in the 5th. He pitched 4 1/3 innings. 1-0 pitch. Fastball, low ball 2. Cooler Jerry throwing in a dive bullpen again. have the game at 2-1. Don Mason on deck. Boy Jeter, Don Jeter, ready to follow. 2-1 pitch on its way. Now ball, base hit to right field. And the Padres in business in the bottom of the 10th. As Tommy Dean places a single to right field, a sharp ground ball through the hole between first and second. And Don Mason will be up in the sacrificing situation. McCovey has to hold against Dean at first. Johnson to the set position. Mason rolling around the butt. Foul to the right, strike one. The Giants were, or the Padres rather, were running and bunting as Dean was going with the pitch from first base. Johnson throws the bird, the lob throw, and Dean back in. Mason to front, Prince at the third base. Lanier will go to second, and he got him. Go to first, not in time. Great play by Lanier. Mason punting the ball at third base. Now, well in one motion, grabbing, throwing the square for the first. Play going Lanier to fire, foul to six. Mason takes over at first. The batter will be the center fielder, John Jeter. Tape on an error, single, double, slide to left. Johnson to the set position. Mason leads them first. Pitch to Jeter, swung on and missed. Strike one. Tried to check on a low breaking pitch. Padres attend Jeter from Buckner, along with pitcher Eddie Costa. I think the players from Padres make themselves a very good deal. Jeter. He can fly. 1-1 pitch. Grounded to the left of Steyer. Goes to Fuentes, who drops the ball at second base. Ball to the left of Steyer. He fielded it through to Fuentes. Fuentes tried to catch it barehanded and dropped it. A roll on Fuentes. Now the Padres really impressive. They have their big guy up there. Old Colbert. He was 0 for 4. Mason at second. Jeter at first, 1 out. Johnson to the plate. Breaking pitch low outside, ball 1. Johnson checking the pitch. The runners lead from first and second. There he's set. Grounded foul past third. 1-1 count on Colbert. Giants have to play the outfield deep against Colbert. 1-1 pitch by Johnson. In the dirt, bounds away from deep, but the runners cannot move up. As Dick quickly retrieves, the ball is right behind it. Now Johnson drops behind on Colbert, 2 balls and 1 strike. There 1 count on Colbert. Mason at second. Jeter at first, 1 out. Bottom of the front, 4-5, 1-1. Johnson looking back at second. If it's the Colbert, it's swung on a miss, strike 2. He drops the ball, but it stays at his feet. Here's the fly baseball. Dr. Shank Crawford to plate umpire. Johnson and perfect and had a count of 2-2. Johnson sits. Foul at the plate. The Giants appear to have the double play on here, but Twenties drops the ball at second base. They had one. Johnson ready for 2-2 pitch to Nate Colbert. Deliver. It's deep to left field. That's a home run. This ball game's over. Nate Colbert hits a 3-run homer. The Giants walked thrilling deceptively off the field. The Padres went up 4-1. No matter what happens in Los Angeles, it goes down to the final night. The Giants fixed the double play, and Nate Colbert ran for 3-run homers deep into the left field street, and there was no doubt about it. It was gone the minute it left the bat. Final total in the first inning, 3 runs for the Padres. On 2 hits, 1 gigantic error. No runners left. Final score, Padres 4 runs, 9 hits, no errors. Giants 1 run, 7 scored. Winning pitcher, Clay Corbin. The losing pitcher, Jerry Johnson. Now this is Bill Johnson for Ron Simmons and our producer, Rich Smalley. You might need to say something, but... Okay, that's it from San Francisco and San Diego as the Padres have done it in the 9th inning. Tying the ball game 1-1 after 9 innings of play, but in the 10th inning, Nate Colbert on a 3-run home run, and that is it. So, as Bill Thompson pointed out, regardless of what happens in Los Angeles, the Pennant race in the National League West will go to the final day of the season. Now, you might think, well, what's the sense of switching to Los Angeles with the Dodgers trailing at 11-0? Well, for your information, my thoughts are just about the same. However, I wouldn't even have to come to work tomorrow if the Dodgers happen to score 11 runs or so and tie that ball game up. Obviously, the chances are very slim, but in just a few moments, we'll be switching to Dodger Stadium, Los Angeles. Following Jerry Doggett for the description of the remainder. That team is in the 8th inning now of the Dodgers and the Houston Astros. Houston scored 4 times in the first inning, twice in the 4th, twice in the 5th, twice in the 6th, and once in the 7th, and ended by the score of 11-0 as Houston is batting in the top half of the 8th inning of play at the Dodger Stadium in Los Angeles. So, as I said, just a few moments, we'll be switching to Los Angeles. In the National League games, Montreal defeated Chicago by the score of 6-5. 6 runs, 12 hits, and squares to Montreal. Chicago, 5 runs, 10 hits, and 2 errors. Before switching to Los Angeles, let's pause 15 seconds for station identification. This is the American Forces Radio and Television Service. As far as the Dodgers are concerned, they should be closed up shop and go home and get out here early tomorrow. The whole year will be on the line tomorrow. What a finish. What a marvelous finish. And we're so happy to finish on such a high note, whereby we can televise a home game. There's a back-to-back of second. Metzger or Morgan can't get it. A base hit for Crawford. It doesn't mean anything, but this crowd is so delighted that the Dodgers have been shaved for one more day that anything that happens here will get a roar. And I'll tell you something. There's a fellow named Clay Kirby down there in San Diego who did something that most professional men felt would be impossible. Friday night, he pitched 15 innings. He made, as I understand it, 234 pitches Friday night.
The pitch to Manny Mota, fouled away.
So it's on the line tomorrow night. He pitched to Manny Mota, fouled away.
Headed Phillips. an ex-Dodger, Jack Billingham, will be pitching for Houston.
And as an added skillet, an ex-Dodger, Jack Billingham, will be pitching for Houston.
Juan Marichal.
Left-hander Dave Roberts, who they tell us has had a sore back, will go against Juan Marichal.
Today, to make sure the batteries on the radio are working, the tubes on the TV set are working, and together we'll all find out. The Giants lost. The Dodgers are being clobbered. The Giants have clinched a mathematical tie. Crawford goes as a bouncer to third, backhanded by Martinez, who throws accurately to Menke, and the Dodgers are done in the 8th inning. They get a hit, but that's all. And at the end of 8, Astros 11, Dodgers nothing.
Spirit, the ability to make one more effort, to try a little harder than the other guy. Spirit, that's what the folks at Union 76 have, and they put it to work making gasoline. Take Super 76, for example, Union's premium blend. They've put 5 different engine cleaners into Super 76 when 2 or 3 might have done the job. But the people at Union 76 don't like to just get by. And that's what the spirit of 76 is all about. Those 5 engine cleaners are there because Union feels that's what it takes to do an effective job of keeping critical engine areas clean. Intake valves, exhaust valves, spark plugs, carburetors, anti-pollution valves. Keeping an engine clean means it's going to run better, longer. And the cleaner the engine, the less pollution it creates. So start doing yourself and your car a favor now. Get the spirit. The spirit of 76 lives at Union Oil.
As we go to the 9th inning, with the Astros leading 11-0, and Mike Strawler will be pitching to Larry Howard to start it off. For the Giants, of course, a bitter defeat. 1-1, missing a 9th inning home run by Dave Kingman, or that was a 10th inning. Howard. He missed. And then Colbert hitting a 3-run home run to beat Jerry Johnson. So the Giants lose a bitter game. As far as the Dodgers are concerned, they could have stayed home tonight and caught some of the shows. They have not been. As far as the Dodgers are concerned, they could have stayed home tonight and caught some of the shows. They have not been in this game. And actually, it comes as a good time for them. Howard takes ball 1. The Giants, even though they have clinched a tie, have lost a tough one. And the Dodgers must feel psychologically that, well, they've gotten a bad game out of their system and really haven't gotten hurt. The pitch foul back, 1-1. Well, don't forget, and we might as well follow all of the zany proceedings tonight with this note. The tickets are on sale right now over the counter for the National League Championship Series, if and when, between the Pirates and the Dodgers. It would start Saturday if the Dodgers finish on top in the National League West. The games here are both day games, Saturday and Sunday, beginning at 1. Here's the 1-1 pitch, and Howard hits a fly ball to right field. Crawford hesitates, now comes up for it, and Willie makes the catch. The prices for those 2 games against the Pirates, if they are played, $7 for box, $5 for reserved, $3 for pavilion and blue level. Now, tickets may be purchased for one game or both games, and they're on sale right now over the counter at Ticketron offices, at Mutual offices, and at the Dodger ticket office on Stadium Way. Open daily at 9:30. So you can get tickets for the playoff, and then tomorrow night you can watch the game and see if you're going to use the ticket. Forsch swings and misses. That's right. The Dodgers are going to televise tomorrow night's game on Channel 11. Strawler ready in the strike 1 pitch. Half swing foul, cued right over into the dugout. 0-2. So on Fan Appreciation Night, the Dodgers televise a home game to the home folks. That'll be Channel 11, KTTV, and of course, KFI and the Dodger Radio Network. Every time, everywhere. 0-2 to Forsch. Good hitting pitcher. He has 2 hits tonight. He takes high, ball 1. So Don Sutton and Jack Billingham, and Dave Roberts and Juan Marichal. All 4 men will have pressure. Oh, there's no real pressure on Billingham and Roberts except professional pride, knowing that they can change the race. The pressure is really on Don Sutton. The 1-2 pitch is popped in the air into shallow left. Mota is there and waiting and makes the catch. You know, if you had to pick one of the four men now, you got Robertson, Billingham, Marichal, and Sutton. Sutton is the one. He's going to taste it. Now, what he does all day tomorrow, I don't know. But Don is going to have to do something until he goes to the mound and starts pitching at 7:45. Well, it's going to be a long day. I'm sure his wife Patty and young son will try and keep him busy. For the story of Don Sutton tomorrow. Roger Metzger struck out, grounded out, hit into a force play, grounded out, fly to center. He is the only member of the Astros without a hit. The pitch is low, ball one. The 1-0 pitch on the way. Line drive to left. That means everybody's in on the act. A base hit for Metzger. He was the last Astro to check in. So a single against Strawler. And that'll bring up Joe Morgan.
Joe Morgan. Second base.
Don Sutton was born in Alabama. And Don was 26 on the 2nd of April. He has had 5 years of big league experience, and all of that and then some will be on the line tomorrow night. Morgan takes low, ball one, 1-0. When Sutton pitches, I would guess the Dodger bullpen will be standing room only. You could see Al Downing warming up in the Dodger bullpen tomorrow night, because he didn't pitch much tonight. Here's the 1-0 on the way, swung on and missed 1-1. Down in San Diego, they tell us that while Jerry Johnson was struggling in relief of John Cumberland, Gaylord Perry was throwing in the pen. Tomorrow night for the Dodgers, everything goes. Anything and everything. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Morgan fouls it. This is like having to read the last 20 pages of a very bad book, watching this game. 11-0 Astros, top of the 9th inning. One and two to Little Joe. Strawler a look at first. Mike delivers, and Morgan takes outside. Ball two. 2-2. Long Jack Billingham, the ex-Dodger, will be on the mound for the Astros, trying to wreck the Dodger plans for 71. The Giants figure to have their hands full. If Dave Roberts is healthy, they're going to have some time. There's a bouncer to Parker. He'll go to the bag. Okay, the top of the 9th is in. At the end of 8 1/2, Astros 11, Dodgers nothing.
Schlitz, Milwaukee in the world. You only go around once, so you do it with all the gusto you can. Right down to the beer you drink. Less won't do. You're out of Schlitz. You're out of beer.
Bottom of the 9th inning with the Astros leading leading is not exactly the word. They have led them astray. They have led them down the primrose path. The Astros 11 runs, 16 hits, and an error, and the Dodgers nothing. No runs, 8 hits, and an error. And we have mercifully reached the bottom of the 9th. But it's tomorrow that is on everybody's mind. Not this one. Duke Sims, Bobby Valentine, and Wes Parker. And bless them, the folks come up with a charge. That charge, with the Dodgers down 11-0, could only be heard in Montreal. All right, here's the Duke. He is struck out and fouled out and singled 1 for 3. Walter Alston has to make up his mind about tomorrow. Sims, it's a line drive base hit. The Dodgers now have 9 hits and nothing to show for it. What do you do tomorrow if you're Walter Alston? Do you play Duke Sims, who's been hot? Do you play Tommy Haller, who has more experience? And then do you play Manny Mota over Wes Parker? And if Mota plays over Parker, you are weaker defensively in the sense that Allen stays at third. Buckner would go in the outfield. Pitch foul back. So the manager will have a short night. Tomorrow will come pretty fast for him if he has thinking to do. 0-1 the count to Valentine. Forsch delivers low 1-1. I keep thinking about Maury Wills, who was telling us the price of a pennant race, how he's lost 10 pounds, averaging maybe 4 or 5 hours sleep these days, less than 1 full meal a day. Pitch to Valentine low, ball 2. You hear a lot about professionalism, but you scrape away professionalism, and underneath there's still a human being. And these fellas are writhing right now in the last painful moments of the pennant race. Fly ball to center by Valentine, caught by Cedeno. 1 away. Let's pause for station identification. This is the Los Angeles Dodgers Radio Network. Wes Parker will be the batter. Parker finishing up at first base. Wes hitting .275. He hasn't figured in many Dodger games lately. He takes into the hands ball 1, 1-0. After such an incredible year last year, suddenly now in the pressure days, we haven't seen Wes except late in the game. He hadn't been in a start. Manny Mota has changed everything by playing every day. Pitch is low, ball 2. 2-0. Several folks have called in, and I'm sure the majority understand, but we don't want to slight anybody. And a couple of folks went to the trouble of calling in, so we'll explain. The pitch to Parker is a bouncer wide at first, fielded by Menke, underhands to Forsch in time. 2 down, and the batter will be Maury Wills.
Maury Wills.
Folks have called in asking about tomorrow night. It is very simple. The Dodgers are trailing by 1. If the Giants lose and the Dodgers lose, the Giants win the pennant. If the Dodgers win and the Giants win, Giants win the pennant. Only if the Dodgers win and the Giants lose, then there's a tie. There's a bunt. Forsch picks it up, goes to first. So it's as simple as that. Tomorrow night, the Dodgers must win, the Giants must lose, or it's over. It's on about over. This is over. It's been over for quite a while. The Astros 11 runs, 16 hits, 1 error. The Dodgers no runs, 9 hits, and 1 error. The best thing to be said about this game tonight, the Dodgers will not lose any sleep over it. But they'll probably lose sleep over the cloudy future tomorrow evening. Once again, final score of the ball game, the Astros 11 and the Dodgers nothing.